Before I start, I need you to understand something. This is not just a story. This actually happened to me. And after that night, my life never felt safe again. If you're watching this alone, don't turn around. My name is Ryan. I live in a quiet town in Ohio. Nothing unusual ever happens here. That's why, what happened that night still doesn't make sense. It was around 2:10 a.m. I was in my room, lights off, just my phone glowing in the dark. The house was silent, but not normal silent. It felt heavy. I had this strange feeling, like someone was watching me. But I was alone. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I ignored it. It rang again, and again, and again. 3 calls, back to back. I picked up. Right finger, hello. Nothing. Just breathing. At first, I thought it's a prank. But then, the voice whispered. Right finger, Ryan. My body went cold. I never said my name. I hung up instantly. I locked my phone, put it down. But suddenly, right finger screen turned on by itself. I didn't touch it. A message appeared. Right finger, why did you hang up? My heart started racing. I didn't reply. But then another message. Right finger, I'm coming up. Then I heard it. Right finger door creaking. Downstairs. My parents were asleep. No one should be there. I grabbed my flashlight and opened my door slowly. As I stepped into the hallway, right finger tap, tap, tap. Footsteps. They weren't downstairs anymore. They were right outside my room. My phone rang again. 2:17 a.m. Same number. I answered. Right finger, what do you want? Right finger, turn around. I froze. I didn't want to look. But slowly, I turned towards my mirror. And behind me, right finger, someone was standing. Tall, still, not moving. I ran, locked myself in the bathroom, called 911. My hands were shaking so bad, I could barely speak. When the police arrived, they searched everything. Every room, every door, every window. Right finger, nothing. No sign of anyone. One officer looked at me and said, right finger, who were you talking to? I showed him my phone. Call log. Right finger outgoing call 2:17 a.m. Part 2. I never called anyone. But that's not the worst still part. In my hand. Last night, the screen still showed rang again. Unknown caller. Right finger 2:17 a.m. Now the scariest part was, this time, a faded shadow was moving right under my door. But it left a voicemail. I slowly whispered, who's there? From the other side of the phone, that same voice replied, why did you lock the door? My heart was beating so fast, it felt like it would burst out. I gathered some courage and went near the door. Then slowly looked through the gap at the bottom. There was nothing. But suddenly, I heard footsteps from upstairs. Tap, tap, tap. Slowly, like someone walking barefoot. I was downstairs in my room. And there was no one upstairs. The phone rang again. This time the voice sounded even closer. I'm not upstairs. My hands started trembling. I quickly turned off the lights and hid in the corner of my bed. Now the whole house was silent. Only the sound of my breathing remained. Then, someone lightly knocked on my window. Knock, knock. I slowly lifted my head. A shadow was visible behind the curtain. But, my room was on the first floor. How could someone be standing outside? The phone rang again. This time, I didn't even pick it up. But the speaker turned on by itself. And the voice that came next changed everything. If you open the door, I will come inside. If you don't, I'm already inside. My breath stopped. Then, from right behind me, a whisper came close to my ear. Now you can see me. I slowly turned around and froze right there. Part 3. The truth inside was exactly like I couldn't move. If you want, I can also make right in front of even more scary with a twist ending. Same face, same clothes, same everything. But its eyes, they didn't feel human. And that smile, it stretched too far across its face. Like it was learning how to be me. My throat went dry. I tried to step back, but my legs felt frozen. Then, my phone rang again, still in my hand, still glowing. Unknown caller. The thing in front of me didn't move. but its eyes slowly shifted toward the phone. Watching it, waiting, my fingers trembled as I answered. For a second, there was only static. Then, my own voice came through the speaker. Calm, but terrified. Listen to me carefully. I stopped breathing. That thing in front of you is not you. A cold wave ran down my spine. I looked up. The thing was still smiling. But now its head was slightly tilted. Like it was listening too. The voice on the phone whispered. It copies, it learns, it waits. Every time you respond, it gets closer. My heart dropped. Closer to what? I whispered. But before the voice could answer, the thing in front of me suddenly twitched. Its smile disappeared. Its face started glitching. Like a broken reflection. Then in a deep, distorted voice, it spoke. You talk too much. The lights in my room flickered violently. On, off, on, off. The walls felt like they were closing in. I stepped back, but it stepped forward at the same time. Perfectly matching me. Like a mirror. But not quite. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor. But the call didn't disconnect. The voice kept speaking, now louder. Urgent. Don't let it replace you. My chest tightened. Replace. I whispered. That's when I noticed something. The thing's shadow wasn't matching its body. It moved differently. Independently. Like something else was controlling it. The creature suddenly rushed forward. Fast. Too fast. I stumbled back and hit the wall. It stopped inches away from my face. I could feel its breath. Cold. Dead. Then it whispered. You opened the door. I can stay now. My mind went blank. Door. I never opened. Then I remembered. The call. I answered it. That was the door. Suddenly, the phone screamed. A loud, distorted noise filled the room. Then my voice shouted from it. Run now. Something inside me snapped. I pushed the thing away and ran toward the door. My hands shaking, I unlocked it and pulled it open. And ran into the hallway. Dark. Silent. But behind me, I could hear footsteps. Following me. Matching my speed. I ran downstairs, almost falling. Reached the main door. Grabbed the handle. And stopped. Because the door was already open. Slowly swinging. Like someone had just walked in. Or out. I turned back. The hallway behind me was empty. No footsteps. No sound. Nothing. I was alone. Again. Or at least, it felt like it. My phone vibrated in my pocket. I hesitated, then slowly took it out. The screen was cracked, but still on. A new notification appeared. From the same number. No name. Just a message. I opened it, and my entire body went cold. It said, "You ran. Good." A second message popped up instantly. Now let's see who they believe. My hands started shaking uncontrollably.
A 15-year-old girl named Sabrina was home alone one night when there was a knock at her front door. Her parents weren't supposed to be back until the following Monday, and she wasn't expecting any guests. She went to the front door to ask who was there, and an unfamiliar male voice said back,